the ones that were hanging on trying to defend Stephanie White, a lot of you guys threw in the towel last night. Rocky IV style. Throw the towel. Throw the damn towel. Y'all threw it in. Watching that fiasco that played out in front of our face, and then the comments after the game where Stephanie White refuses to answer a direct question about Caitlin Clark and her performance last night. And that's after 7,000 in one of their the preseason games. I went back to 2024. 20 home games, 3 were not sellout. The fans won't be there anytime soon unless you fire Stephanie White. We are fed up when Stephanie White benches Caitlin Clark in the first quarter and the offense was flowing. That was criminal. That second and third quarter is some of the worst coaching I've ever seen in all my life. Screw all the front office out the door. It's already happening. I played that earlier. That is the place where she was refusing to give Caitlin Clark praise. That may be the most damaging indictment we have seen yet. I don't think. Now Aaliyah Boston is out. We don't know how long. We got no bigs on this team. And we got a coach that wants to diminish the best female athlete on the planet. I want you to think about this a minute. They have the best female athlete on the planet. The most dynamic, the most exciting. And she's got a coach on her own team that don't even think she's the best player. Knows how to properly coach the team. That goes back. Remember the day Sandy Brondello got fired? I made a video and was like, I fire Stephanie White today. Sandy Brondello adores Caitlin Clark. Loves Caitlin Clark. Nope. You had a chance right there. I'll scream this all day. Stephanie White is not the coach for Caitlin Clark.
The Indiana Fever fanbase just declared war on their own team. And it's not angry tweets or heated forum posts. This is a full-scale financial boycott that's bleeding the organization dry. While the front office sits in denial, 1,600 empty seats at their last home game sent a crystal-clear message. Fire Stephanie White or watch your franchise burn to the ground. The honeymoon period is officially over, and what's happening behind the scenes is way worse than anyone realizes. The Simon family ownership group is staring down the barrel of the biggest PR disaster in WNBA history, and they have absolutely no idea how to stop it. Here's the reality nobody wants to admit. The Indiana Fever were handed the greatest economic gift in women's sports history when they drafted Caitlin Clark. This wasn't just getting a talented rookie. This was winning the lottery, hitting the jackpot, and finding oil in your backyard all at the same time. Clark single-handedly transformed the financial landscape of the entire league. Television ratings exploded to levels nobody thought possible. Corporate sponsors who had never touched women's basketball were suddenly writing 8-figure checks. The Fever went from being a struggling franchise to the hottest ticket in professional sports almost overnight. In 2024, they sold out 17 of 20 home games, with the remaining 3 falling short by just a few hundred seats. They were literally printing money, and their franchise valuation was skyrocketing at a pace that made ownership groups across the league sick with envy. But here's where everything falls apart. That same organization that was printing money 12 months ago just watched 1,600 fans deliberately stay home during a critical playoff push. 1,600 empty seats, in an arena that Caitlin Clark had packed to the rafters every single night. This isn't about ticket prices or scheduling conflicts or bad weather. This is an organized rebellion, and it's being orchestrated by the most loyal fan base in women's basketball. These aren't casual fans who might show up if they're bored on a Tuesday night. These are die-hard supporters who spent their hard-earned money on season tickets, who bought Clark jerseys before she played a single professional minute, who defended this team through years of mediocrity. And now, they're sending a message that should terrify every executive in that building. We will not pay premium prices to watch you sabotage the greatest player on the planet. The social media response is absolutely brutal, and it's getting worse by the day. When the Fever's marketing team posted their desperate plea begging fans to show up to the next game, the comment section turned into a graveyard for Stephanie White's coaching career. Fans are writing essays about why they refuse to spend another dollar until White is fired. They're creating membership cards for something they're calling the resistance. They're organizing boycotts with military precision. National media figures like Jason Whitlock are openly calling for a complete organizational purge. This isn't random internet anger anymore. This is a coordinated movement with clear demands and the financial leverage to make ownership listen. When your own fans are hoping you go broke until you make changes, you've lost control of your franchise. Now let me break down exactly why this fan base has reached the nuclear option, because the coaching malpractice happening on that sideline is genuinely insulting to anyone who understands basketball. In their last home game, Caitlin Clark came out hot in the first quarter. The offense was flowing, the spacing was perfect, and she was finding her rhythm exactly when the team needed it most. So what does Stephanie White do? She benches her. She takes the most dynamic offensive weapon in the sport, the only reason those lights are on and those cameras are rolling, and she sits her down during the most crucial stretch of the season. What followed was some of the most incompetent coaching execution you'll ever see at the professional level. The second and third quarters were a masterclass in how to destroy team chemistry and kill offensive momentum. But here's the kicker. After Clark carried the team on her back to keep them from getting blown out by 20 points on their home floor, White was asked about her performance in the post-game press conference, and she refused to answer. She deliberately dodged giving Clark any individual credit. She deflected, she minimized, she acted like discussing her best player's heroic effort was somehow beneath her. This is a coach who has let her personal ego and whatever locker room politics are happening behind closed doors completely blind her to reality. While she refuses to praise the generational talent who's keeping her employed, she's built an entire offensive system around Kelsey Mitchell, a veteran guard who's actively hurting the team more than helping it. And get this, over the last 2 consecutive games, Kelsey Mitchell has recorded exactly 0 assists and 0 rebounds. 0. In the modern WNBA, if you're a starting guard playing significant minutes, finishing back-to-back games with 0 assists and 0 rebounds is almost mathematically impossible unless you're actively refusing to engage with your teammates. Mitchell is playing the most selfish isolation basketball you've ever seen, and fans watching live games are openly questioning whether she's point-shaving because she's missing wide-open layups and ignoring teammates who are begging for the ball. When your own fan base starts legitimately questioning the competitive integrity of your starting shooting guard, your locker room culture is completely dead. Here's where it gets absolutely insane. When the Fever needed a final shot to potentially tie the game, guess who Stephanie White drew up the play for? Kelsey Mitchell. Not the generational shooter who had just torched the defense, not the player who's rewriting the record books. She gave the ball to the guard with 0 assists who had been playing selfish basketball all night. It's criminal coaching behavior, and every basketball fan in that building knew it. The front office executives, Amber Cox and Kelly Crosskop, have committed roster construction malpractice that's now being exposed in the worst possible way. They let their backup bigs walk in free agency. They refused to invest in rim protection or interior defense. They built a team with glaring holes and expected Clark to magically fix everything through sheer shooting volume. Now listen to this part, because it shows you exactly how incompetent this front office really is. When Aaliyah Boston went down with an injury, the Fever's lack of depth got exposed in the most embarrassing way possible. They have absolutely no one left who can protect the paint or set a decent screen. They're playing small ball not by choice, but because they literally don't have any other options. Why didn't they re-sign Tiara McCowan? Why did they ignore the gaping hole in their interior defense during free agency? They surrounded a generational point guard with an undersized, defensively fragile roster, and somehow expected it to work. The worst part is that none of this had to happen. During the coaching search, Sandy Brindello was available. The entire basketball world knew that Brindello absolutely loved Clark's game and understood exactly how to maximize a superstar point guard. But wait, it gets worse. The front office could have hired a championship-caliber coach who actually understood the assignment. They could have brought in someone who knows offensive spacing, someone who's built systems around elite playmakers before. Instead, they chose internal politics over winning basketball. They passed on Sandy Brindello. They passed on Cheryl Miller. They ignored proven winners to hire someone who's now being openly mocked online as completely lost and overwhelmed on the sidelines. Fans are calling White the most confused-looking coach in professional sports. And honestly, it's hard to argue with them when you watch her deer-in-headlights expression during crucial timeouts. The Simon family ownership group is standing on the edge of a financial cliff, and they seem completely oblivious to how bad this is about to get. So there you have it. The most valuable franchise in women's sports is being destroyed from within by arrogant executives who refuse to admit their mistakes. The fan base has moved beyond anger into organized resistance, and those 1,600 empty seats are just the beginning. Television ratings will be next if this product remains unwatchable. The entire basketball world knows this is Caitlin Clark's team, but the only people who refuse to accept reality are the ones getting paid to win games. This isn't just about basketball anymore. This is about whether ownership cares more about protecting fragile egos or building a championship culture. So here's my question for you. Is it time for a complete organizational purge, or can Stephanie White somehow save her job? Drop your most unfiltered thoughts in the comments below, because this situation is about to explode. If you want the real truth about what's happening behind the scenes in women's basketball, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. The revolution in Indianapolis is just getting started, and you won't want to miss what happens next.